Hello Canada, welcome back to another edition of the Canadian Citizen Journal. I'm your host, alias Tagai. Wow, somebody figured out the money. We're just gonna concentrate this small video on what he found and where he went to get it. I'm sure you will find 90% of the trail we covered. Where I went right because I couldn't find the money, this guy knew how to do it. So kudos to this guy. Yeah, shocking. It's gonna try to give you guys the big screen. It won't blow up any larger, so we'll just do it this way. And let's just go.
This is a website called Protecting Canada. This is a group that has been accepting donations through their website in order to fund smearing campaign ads against Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative. Now, before you scroll on, you have no idea what I'm about to show you, as they are operating this illegally, and I can prove it. Now, this is the Government of Canada website to find corporations in Canada. You can do a search of any title, any name that you'd like. So I put in Protecting Canada. Well, sure enough, there was one result. Looking down into the records, I see there's 4 directors, and the very top name will be very significant, as I will link that in throughout the show. Now, after I explain this, what really makes this illegal is they dissolved their company in 2022, June 20th. So for anybody who doesn't know, any operations after dissolving a corporation using the website, their name, their brand, etc., is subject to criminal codes, like in violations like you wouldn't believe.
Which I was trying to get at, and actually I did a little bit of research on that. He's absolutely correct, and there's like 4 different laws that are being broken there. Let's continue.
And here's the public record that you can download to get the actual information about the corporation. Now, Ian White was one of the directors on the list that I just showed you. Let's dig into who he is. Now, just above my head here, you can see that he was part of the NDP party. And he also works for Monk and Associate currently. And who is Monk and Associate? Well, the owner of that company is named Kathleen Monk. I'm sure a lot of you know exactly who she is. And if you don't, I'm about to tell you. But first, when you scroll down that page, I just want to show you something. As you can see here, election monitoring is one of her skills. Just keep that in mind as we go through this video. Now, Kathleen Monk has 20 years of experience in journalism, politics, and nonprofit sector. Now, as I said, Kathleen is principal at Monk and Associates, dedicating her energies to advocating campaigns, issue management, and guiding public affairs strategy. She's a frequent media commentator on politics and public affairs. Miss Monk appears weekly on CTV Questions Period, Sunday Strategy Session, CTV's Power Play, Front Bench Panel, and for years was a panelist on The Insiders, a regular segment on CBC's, and The National with Peter Mansbridge.
See, and to me, this is also a path that we've got to go down, because it's proving that we know that a lot of the hosts, Rosie, etc., are incredibly biased. You can see it. You watch TV. You watch them actually twist things always in the favor of the Liberal Party, and then you get the few of them there that are kind of the Liberal and NDP party. But one thing they all have in common, every single one of these media outlets that gets money from the government for some reason has got a hate on for Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party. And it's not just Pierre. We know now that this goes all the way back. It goes back to Scheer. It goes back to O'Toole. This is huge. And now, let's follow.
Kathleen was the director of communications for the NDP. Jack Layton, serving as spokesperson on War Room Director for the historic 2011 federal campaign. So it's about to get deep. So now we got Ian White, which was part of the NDP. We got Kathleen Monk, which has a lot of ties within CBC, CTV, and the NDP. So now you see where I'm going with this. Now let's see where the illegal part of all this comes into play. And if you want to check out our website, that is it. There's not even anything in the menu.
Yeah, I showed you guys that yesterday. It's a dead end. It's a front page. That's a front page. That's what that is. Yeah, let's move on.
That is it. Now, Protecting Canada has several social medias. This one is their Instagram. Not very many followers or likes, and all their videos have very low commenting, not a lot of engaging. Then there's their TikTok. They don't get a whole lot of views. They don't have a whole lot of followers. For anybody who wants to go there and do some work on it, go for it. They also have a Twitter. Not many followers, not a lot of engagement. And on their social medias, on all of them, they have a lot of people that are catching on to them, thinking that they're a bot farm, et cetera, et cetera. But then there are some people on there like your Liberals or your NDPs that are attacking the Conservatives. So very small portion of people on there, which shows, after I show you what's next, that they don't have a whole lot of support. Now, they do have a YouTube, and this is where things get fishy. So
I actually think that there's a reason to that. I don't think they really care about how many followers they have or subscribers. If anything, that makes them more susceptible to being found out. I think this was part of the strategy for so many years with these guys, to make sure that they had the money and resources to blanket all of the different types of social media to run these hate ads, attack ads, but by remaining to be kind of a hidden source, nobody was really digging hard because they were there, but they weren't there. It's not like they had 100,000 or 200,000 or 500,000 subscribers. They had very few subscribers. So they weren't necessarily promoting their pages, their social media, more than they were using this dark money to just push out their ads, which they did. And this is where it gets deep.
Only have about 680 followers. Not very much, but check this. Now, all of their videos have like 1 million views, 2 million views, 500,000 views, etc., etc. And they only have 680 followers, which is kind of odd. Here's a list of some more. You can pause and zoom in if you'd like. But just to show you kind of some of the engagement, you can see there 40 likes and about 100 comments. So they're not getting a whole lot of activity with these millions of views that they're pushing out, and they're paying for it, which I'll go over in the end, the financials and how much they're actually funding into this whole narrative of their smearing campaign. Here's another one you can pause to read. Not very many engagement at all. And another one, and you get the point. They're not getting engagement at all. Now let's get into the dark money. As you can see here, this is their Facebook page. They don't have a whole lot of followers there as well. Not a whole lot of engagement. And one thing I know because of my own company is how to look at competitors' ads that they're running.
Okay. And now for anybody else out there that's doing research, listen carefully to what he's doing. I know I'm definitely going to save this clip and go over it and then make sure that I go through all the fundamental processes of what he's doing here, because this is something, especially I'm new to the tech end of it. This is stuff that I wasn't really aware a person could do. So this is crucial to being able to dig into bot farms and hack accounts like this. This is a money laundering scheme to promote propaganda. Like I said in last night's video, it's so deep that the strings are buried in the weave. The fabric itself of the way that our entire society is ran allows for these people to go hidden, to go unseen, to remain dark. And now with this technology, it's getting harder for them to do it. And like I said before, like I said a week and a half ago when I first exposed this, the money itself is hard enough to trace, but when you have the ability and the backers to delete your digital footprint, that's a bird of a whole different feather, and that takes hours upon hours. And like I said, I have to relearn all this computer stuff. So this has been a heck of a learning curve. Remember what he's doing. For any of you other out there that are part of this expose expose the WEF, expose the corruption, make sure you save this video. I won't be taking it down, but who knows with YouTube, and we've gone over how YouTube works in Canada, they have the power to shut us down. Now, I'm fortunate I can just create a new channel and just literally be born in the States and start sending from there. But still, it makes it way harder for any of my subscribers and regular fans to find me, if they can find me at all. So I would definitely suggest downloading the video, or I'll make sure to let you know this guy's name. He deserves the credit. He definitely, he found the money. And to people, the money is more important. It's more believable, especially when it comes to the police. Because if there is no money trail and they find that it's dark money, now not only are the RCMP mad, but you've got the rest of the steps of government who aren't getting their fair share of taxes. And there is no better way to get a rat out of a hole than to give them that big piece of stinking rotten cheese.
You can go to their info page here on anybody's Facebook who's got, some sort of page for business or whatever. And it gives you a whole bunch of information, like, their contact info, and you can see up there, Protecting Canada. There's their website, so we know this is their Facebook. And then you can go into here where it says page transparency and click on see all. And I'll show you. So then when you click on the page transparency, you come to this where you can see the history, if they changed their name, how it looks, or the wording of it. Then you got people who manage this page. As you can see, there is 12 people from Canada, 12 individuals managing this page. Is that the people that are funding the page, putting the money into this? Who knows? But there's 12 people. Then there's one person from the United States. Who could that be? Who wants to get involved from the United States in this campaign for the Canadian election, which I felt was kind of odd. Now, I can't find out who those are. That is something that you would have to file some sort of motion and try and get that done in order to obtain that information. But down here, you got the ads on this page, and you can see the full ad library. So let's check that out. So on this, you can see that they have 610 results. They've ran 610 ads. And
Wow.
here they have 12 ads that are currently running. Now check out the amount of money they're spending on each ad. We got this one here about $799, which is, typical for a business. This one here about $1,500. This one here for about $15,000. So we're not talking small money here. Another one for $6,000. And that is just 4 out of the 12 ads. So you kind of get the idea of how much money they are spewing out to get very little engagement back, just to put out these smear ads about the Conservatives and Pierre Poilievre. Now let's recap everything, and then I'll show you something on the end here. Now, as you can see here, Protecting Canada Project, this is their corporate information. Canada not-for-profit. So that means that is a non-profit organization, which is why they can get in big trouble for what they're doing, and you'll see in a minute. Incorporation date was November 20th, 2020, which if you go to their other Facebook page, they had a website called something O'Toole. It was about O'Toole. And then if you go to the Wayback Machine, which I showed in my previous video from this one, it shows 2021 they had activity in a different website, and that was the website. So they changed the website name, and now they're back 2024, 2025 in full cahoots. If you go to the Wayback Machine and just put in their website address, you'll see the activity. And then it was dissolved June 20th, 2022. So that means they don't have the corporation anymore, and anything that they do afterwards, using the name, the brand, the website, taking donations under this is all illegal. Then you got the 4 original directors that started this corporation, and they were kind of in on it and thought they were kind of smart. But in all reality, they left a trail and they don't realize that they're doing things illegally. So let's go to the advertising costs. And I kind of figured out a general idea based on the 12 ads that they had there, took an average of that for the 610. So basically estimated spending for each single ad campaign is anywhere from 6 to 7,000 when you total them all up. And then you have the estimated total spending on meta ads is between 3.66 million and 4.27 million on 610 ads. So this isn't small money. Someone is funding this, whether it's people's donations or some other party that is funding this. Someone is funding this, and it's big money. Now for the YouTube campaign, it's about 1 cent to 3 cents per view. And each video has about 2 million to 1 million views, about 30 views. That's an estimated spending of 600,000 to 2 million. So now we're sitting at about 6.
Did you hear that? And now this is what he's getting at. So I'm just gonna cut this into layman's terms. If the video is only actually has X amount of subscribers, very low amount of people, it would be like all of a sudden my channel getting millions of views, but only having 150 likes and 40 subscribers. The math doesn't add up. So some outside source is paying in order for the videos to be watched on different VPs so that it registers as individual views. This is some complicated, hardcore stuff, guys. This takes obviously years to develop and a lot of infrastructure within these organizations to have the ability to do this. Now, what country is known to run massive bot farms? I'll give you a hint. China. And we've known this like forever. This is crazy.
$6 million just between the two platforms, and that's not mentioning the other platform. We know Ian Wayne was formerly associated with the NDP party, now working for Monk and Associates, which is related to Kathleen Monk, which has connections with the CBC and CTV and political campaign consulting and government relations. So we know that there is something shady going on here. And to make sure, I did a search on Elections Canada for both of their, like you click in Protecting Canada, and there is no results. Same with Monk and Associates, 0 results. So they're not legally allowed to do any ads unless they have a different corporation, but they're using Protecting Canada as the brand to take donations and to post this stuff. So regardless of who's backing them and who's legally going under the elections campaign, it's illegal because you're doing it underneath the wrong corporation name that has been dissolved. And if you go to the website where it says donate, you can give any amount, $5 to $500. And to make sure that it's them, paid for by Protecting Canada, which no longer exists. So they're illegally accepting donations and using it within political advertising, which is against the law, which is failure to register as a third party can result in fines or criminal charges. Pause to read this. I'm running out of time. Fraud and financial misuse. Pause to read this. I'm running out of time. Also, financial crimes and anti-money laundering proceeds of Crime Act. Suspicious funding sources, millions of dollars in advertising spending with no clear financial source raises money laundering concerns. So yeah, what do you guys think? I think I nailed it on this one. Dark money.
I believe he nailed it, you guys. So this guy is Sean Rickards. I will make sure I post a link. Hey, you know, for the amount of effort and work that he just did and dug, and like he did a damn good job. Like he did a really good job on that. He he nailed that. So kudos out to wow. I'm just in shock. Way to go, Sean. I'll post a link in the bottom of this video. Now this I'm not quite sure when it was posted. It's saying 12:19 p.m. February 22nd. So I'm hoping that the cops are on this. But like I said, I don't know. I think there's so many different people who are promoting and who are part of this conservative movement that I don't think a lot of the messaging from people get up the food chain anymore. Like I had said, I had posted the video, which obviously was way before this guy even jumped on. That started this whole process. Now I'm not taking credit. I'm sure there were other people. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm sure there are, because I know that there's an army out there of people like me who are trying to get to the bottom because we see all this corruption. So kudos to this guy. There's more to come. And now that this has been exposed, this has changed a lot of how I'm going to be doing my research, because now I know a lot more about how I can trace the money trails. Wow, you guys, this is a bombshell. It's a bombshell. This is huge. Absolutely huge. I'm going to end it right there. Oof, this wasn't the video I was expecting to kind of put out for my evening video. I'll probably still try and do an evening video. I've got a lot I was working on on other news that we'll get to. I just wanted to make sure that the second, because I'd heard rumors about this and I never had the guy's name. And then finally, I just did a little bit of research here today and kind of stumbled on it. Thank Grok, good old Grok. Yeah, so boom, I'm following this guy. He did a fabulous job. Round of applause. Wow, I'm just in shock, especially at the amounts of money. I wasn't expecting that. And you think about it's split between how many different social apps. Like, they're in everything. They're literally in everything. So this dark money is being funneled to every single social app that, like, he pointed them all out. They're huge and no fan base, and people are getting onto them. But this guy solved it. This guy solved it. I'm gonna call that an episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. Punch that notification button bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Get the word out, people. I'm sure hoping that the cops are already in on this, because this is taking over social media like crazy. And I've got more breaking news coming out, because they ended up finding that the people that are involved in that $400 million screen slush fund are the ones that are backing Carney, which only makes sense because, like I said, I'm finding links between those companies to Carney's Brookfield. You can't make this up. Corruption in Canada never ends. And as you see, I'm getting more gear every day. Thank all of my viewers putting comments in. Thank everybody for helping me make this channel better every day. Obviously, I've still got a lot of work to do, but I'm happy to take any advice you can give me. So you guys have yourself a great rest of your day. Until next time, you've been watching the Canadian Citizen Journal. I'm your host, alias to Guy.